Every head turned. Women froze beside their baskets of tomatoes and peppers. Children stopped chasing one another through the dust. Even the old men beneath the baobab tree lifted their eyes. Standing in the middle of the crowd was a thin village girl. Her calabash shattered at her feet, water sinking into the red earth. A handprint burned on her cheek. And in front of her stood Adana, the chief's proud daughter, shining in beads and gold. She laughed. A cruel laugh. The kind that makes a whole crowd forget their humanity. "Look at her face," she sneered. "How dare a girl this ugly stand where noble people pass?" The crowd laughed. But no one there knew that the trembling girl they mocked, the prince himself, would kneel before her. Her name was Amara. She lived at the edge of the kingdom with Mama Sword, the old woman who raised her. A small mud house. A quiet forest. A lonely life. A scar stretched from her temple to her cheek. The mark the village used to call her ugly. The mark that made cruel people believe she had no worth. But what they called ugliness, Prince Jabari saw as strength. Every evening he came in disguise, dressed as a hunter. Not as royalty. Not as a prince. But as the only man who truly saw her heart. And slowly, deeply, undeniably, he fell in love with her. Not because of her face, but because of her kindness, her wisdom, her gentle soul. Back in the market, Amara bent down quietly to gather the broken pieces of her calabash. Then suddenly, the sound of horses thundered through the square. Royal guards. A golden chariot. The prince had arrived. Everyone knelt. Everyone except Amara, frozen in pain and confusion. Prince Jabari stepped down. His eyes scanned the crowd until they landed on the red mark on her cheek. His voice turned cold. "Who did this?" Adana smiled proudly. "My prince, it was only discipline. She should know her place." Then came the moment no one would ever forget. The prince walked past the chief's daughter, past the guards, past the whispering crowd, and knelt beside Amara in the dust. Gasps filled the market. He lifted her trembling hand gently. No one in this kingdom stands above her. That night, the palace walls shook with whispers. The king's voice thundered through the royal chamber. "You will marry Adana." But Jabari stood firm. "My heart belongs elsewhere." The king's anger rose. "To that scarred village girl," Jabari answered. "She is worth more than every jewel in this palace." At the harvest festival, the drums rolled under the moonlight. Fire torches danced in the wind. The sacred stone stood at the center. Adana pointed at Amara. "If she is worthy, let the ancestors judge her." The crowd laughed. But Amara stepped forward. One step. Then another. Her fingers touched the sacred stone. And suddenly, the earth trembled. Golden light exploded across the festival grounds. The drums stopped by themselves. The wind roared like the ancestors were speaking. Then the crescent moon mark on her wrist began to glow. The queen mother fell to her knees. "My daughter's child." The kingdom froze. Amara was not a nobody. She was Princess Sora, the rightful heir to the throne. But destiny was not done yet. Chief Dantola stepped forward with armed men. The same man who had caused the palace fire years ago. Chaos erupted. Villagers screamed. Torches fell. Spears clashed. Jabari drew his blade. But before blood could spill, Amara raised her hand. "Enough." Her voice silenced the kingdom. "You built your power on lies," she declared. "And now your pride will destroy you." Moments later, the chief fell before the sacred stone. The same stone that exposed the truth. Pride had finally met destruction. The girl they once called ugly returned to the palace not as a servant, not as an outcast, but as Queen Zora. Yet even with power in her hands, she chose kindness. She fed the poor. She rebuilt broken villages. She made a law that no one would ever again be judged by scars, poverty, or appearance. And on the day she married Prince Jabari, the same market square where she was once humiliated became the place where the kingdom shouted her name with joy. Queen Zora, bride of destiny, beloved of the people. And so the kingdom learned a lesson they would never forget. Never judge by appearance. Because the one the world mocks today may be the very soul destiny has chosen to change everything.
The sky girl shining through, from the village dust to the royal sky. Destiny lifts the lowly high. Oh, Amara, child of grace, the throne was written on your face. What they mocked became your light. The hidden queen will always rise.
The prince saw truth beyond the skin. He saw the fire that burned within. While proud hearts laughed and turned away,
Love kept calling her name each day. The sacred stone began to glow. The truth the kingdom had to know. The lost bloodline, the chosen star, the queen they searched for was never found. Amara, rise. Oh, daughter, rise. From the dust, from the pain.